The Birth of Anatolian Rock, how Barış Manço and Moğollar revolutionized Turkish music. Imagine a sound, raw and untamed, bursting forth from the heart of Turkey. A sound that dared to blend the ancient melodies of Anatolia with the electrifying energy of Western rock. This is the story of Anatolian rock, a musical revolution that shook a nation. It was the 1960s and Turkey was on the cusp of change. A cultural earthquake was brewing and its tremors would be felt in every corner of the country. This is the story of how Anatolian rock became more than just music. It became a cultural uprising. The Turkey of the 1960s was a nation caught between tradition and modernity. The winds of westernization were blowing strong, promising progress and a new way of life. But beneath the surface, tensions were simmering. Political unrest was a constant companion. The old guard clashed with the new, and the youth were caught in the crossfire. They yearned for something different, something that spoke to their experiences. A vibrant youth culture began to emerge, fueled by a desire for change. They sought new forms of expression, new ways to connect with the world, and they found it in the sounds coming from across the ocean. Western music, particularly rock and roll, began to seep into the Turkish consciousness. Radio stations played the hits, and records found their way into eager hands. But could traditional Turkish music coexist with this new phenomenon? Turkish folk music is a treasure trove of unique sounds and traditions. Its melodies are haunting, its rhythms complex, and its instruments are steeped in history. It's a music that tells the stories of the land and its people. At the heart of Turkish music lies the makam, a modal system that dictates the melodic structure. These modes evoke specific emotions and create a unique sonic landscape. It's a far cry from the chord-based structures of Western music. Then there's the usul, the rhythmic patterns that drive Turkish music. These patterns are often intricate and asymmetrical, adding a layer of complexity and depth. They create a mesmerizing pulse that's both ancient and timeless. Traditional Turkish instruments like the bağlama, zurna, and ney add their distinctive voices to the mix. Each instrument carries its own history and cultural significance. They are the voices of Anatolia. As Western rock music arrived, it brought with it a different set of rules and conventions. Electric guitars, drum kits, and amplified sound created a sonic boom that resonated with the youth. It was a sound of rebellion and freedom. Western rock records began to circulate in Turkey, sparking a musical awakening. Bands like the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, and Jimi Hendrix became idols. Their music offered a glimpse into a different world. Istanbul's underground music scene became a melting pot of ideas and influences. Musicians began experimenting with new sounds, blending Turkish melodies with Western rock rhythms. It was a time of exploration and discovery. Early attempts to fuse Turkish and Western styles were met with mixed reactions. Some embraced the innovation, while others clung to tradition. Skepticism from traditionalists was a major hurdle. Enter Barış Manço, a visionary artist who dared to break the mold. His early experiments with rock music were groundbreaking, pushing the boundaries of what was considered acceptable. He was a true pioneer. Manço's flamboyant style and charismatic stage presence captivated audiences. He was a showman, a storyteller, and a musical revolutionary all rolled into one. He was a symbol of change. Then came Moğollar, a band that fearlessly embraced Anatolian melodies. They weren't afraid to experiment, to push the limits of their creativity. They were the embodiment of musical innovation. Moğollar also embraced the psychedelic rock movement, adding a layer of sonic experimentation to their music. They created a swirling, hypnotic sound that transported listeners to another dimension. They were sonic explorers. Together, these artists helped to create a new hybrid genre, Anadolu rock. It was a fusion of East and West, tradition and modernity. It was a sound that was uniquely Turkish, yet universally appealing. Songs like Hal Hal became anthems of this new sound. They captured the spirit of the times, the yearning for change, and the pride in Turkish identity. They were the soundtrack of a generation. Songs like Garip Çoban further defined the genre, blending traditional folk melodies with rock instrumentation. They told stories of rural life, of hardship and resilience. They were the voices of the forgotten. Anatolian rock became more than just music. It became a voice for the oppressed. It spoke to the struggles of the working class, the frustrations of the youth, and the yearning for a better future. It was a powerful form of protest. The genre gave voice to the working class, whose stories were often ignored by the mainstream media. It celebrated their resilience, their struggles, and their hopes for a better future. It was a music of solidarity. It also became a voice for youth rebellion, a way for young people to express their dissatisfaction with the status quo. It challenged traditional norms and celebrated individuality. It was a music of liberation. Anatolian rock reflected Turkey's turbulent socio-political climate. Military coups, economic instability, and social unrest were all reflected in the music. It was a mirror of a nation in turmoil. The military coups that plagued Turkey during this era created an atmosphere of fear and uncertainty. Anatolian rock became a way for artists to express their dissent, often in subtle and symbolic ways. It was a music of resistance. Rural-urban migration was another major issue facing Turkey at the time. People were leaving their villages in search of a better life in the cities, but often faced hardship and discrimination. Anatolian rock told their stories. This period was also marked by an identity crisis in Turkey. The country was torn between its traditional roots and its desire to modernize. Anatolian rock helped to bridge this gap, creating a sense of national pride and unity. Anatolian rock was more than just a genre, it was a movement. It brought people together, gave them a voice, and helped them to make sense of a rapidly changing world. It was a cultural force to be reckoned with. Later bands like Cem Karaca carried the torch, pushing the boundaries of Anatolian rock even further. His powerful vocals and politically charged lyrics made him a hero to many. He was a true icon. Erkin Koray also played a crucial role in shaping the genre. His psychedelic soundscapes and experimental approach to music paved the way for future generations of artists. He was a visionary. Edip Akbayram added his own unique flavor to the mix, blending Anatolian folk melodies with rock instrumentation. His songs were both beautiful and powerful, resonating with audiences across the country. In the 2000s, there was a revival of Anatolian rock, with new bands emerging and paying homage to the pioneers of the genre. This resurgence proved that the music was still relevant and powerful. Modern bands like Altingun are taking Anatolian rock to new heights, blending traditional sounds with contemporary influences. They are introducing the genre to a new generation of listeners around the world. The genre still resonates across generations because it speaks to something deep within the Turkish soul. It's a music that celebrates identity, challenges injustice, and reminds us of our shared history. It's a timeless sound. Anatolian rock is more than just a genre. It's a mirror reflecting a nation in transformation. It's a testament to the power of music to unite, to inspire, and to challenge the status quo. It's a story that deserves to be told. Anatolian rock is a mirror of a nation in transformation. It reflects the hopes, the dreams, and the struggles of the Turkish people. It's a story that continues to unfold. Subscribe to The Turkish Odyssey to delve deeper into the rich tapestry of Turkish culture and history. Join us as we explore the stories that have shaped this fascinating nation. Share your favorite Anatolian rock tracks in the comments below. Let's celebrate the music that has touched our hearts and shaped our identities. Let's keep the conversation going. Let's keep the cultural legacy alive. Let's continue to celebrate the music that has shaped our identity and inspired generations. Let's keep the spirit of Anatolian rock burning bright.